Welcome to another exciting episode of In the Lab. Today we're talking about the 20-mile march and Magic, the Gathering. Oh hey, didn't see you there. Welcome to another exciting episode. Today, I got a great little story for you. I heard it first on the Planet Money podcast. Great podcast, you got to listen to this. Magic the Gathering started 22 years ago. And it's a card game. It was developed by doctoral students. And all it was, it started off as a game you play with. There were some rare cards that could play and could actually help you win a lot better. 4 years out, 5 years out, it got too popular. And all of a sudden now they have a bubble. And so what these students started doing, they started researching what happens to bubbles. And what they found out in the comic book, the toy, the children's game industry, a lot of companies come up with one and then they're done. They have their big hurrah and then nothing at all. So they wanted to pop their own bubble before it got too big. So looking at what to do, they had, some cards were going for $25,000. Like, these are $3 packs of cards that they now have to drive the price down. So what they did, they monitored all the stores that were reselling them, and they started printing a ton of cards. How you play the game, they changed how to play the game. The professional way was not to use the special cards. It was completely drawn at random. So they had a different way of actually playing Magic, and they flooded the market, and what they were trying to do is drive the price down so the average consumer could still buy Magic cards. Now what they were effectively doing was stopping a really, really high growth curve and settling for a slower long-term growth. 22 years later, they are the second top grossing brand for Hasbro behind Nerf. So the strategy worked. Last year was their most profitable year yet. Now the crazy part about this whole story is that in the mid-2000s, Jim Collins, who wrote the great books, Built to Last, Good to Great, and Great by Choice, he has a chapter in it called the 20-mile march. And what he talks, and this is while Magic is actually doing it, he talks about how slow growth, slow and steady growth, that's what's going to end up winning the race. He talks about a brilliant story of an explorer discovering the North Pole, and his 20-mile march was every day he would march 20 miles instead of his competitor, who was going as fast as he could on good days, and he would slow down on bad days. Well, his competitor froze to death before he got there. And our explorer got there because he set a goal every day he was going to march 20 miles. You can't have extreme growth. You can't just have a huge growth curve, because what goes up must come down. Remember the 20-mile march. Now, your weekly challenge. Mr. McFarlane in the Campbell Business class, 10X Thinkers. Here's a challenge. You need to ask a question, hashtag in the lab. Ask a question about marketing or business, and the 5 best/funniest questions we're going to answer on air. So, if you want to ask a question and you want an answer in a video form, tweet me here. Use the hashtag in the lab. Peace be to Journey. That was really, I was going to say subscribe here. I forgot to. That's okay. Nah, I'm sure it's fine.